everybody, and welcome back to Musings by Nikki. I'm Nikki, remember me? It's been a minute. Hi friends. It's been a minute. I took a mini leave of absence for a second, but I'm back. So thanks for hanging out and waiting for me. I'm sure that's what you've been doing all this whole time. These last several weeks, you've just been hanging out and waiting for me, right? Anyway, I am back. And while I've been gone, taking a little time, I've been fussing with little bits and pieces of these, which are a design team project for Tracy Fox for Fox Creative. And you know, Tracy's always coming out with 100 new kits before I can even finish one project with the ones that I love and want to, and then I'm always printing the next one off because she's got so many great kits. So this is a kit that I've wanted to use for a while now, and then when she just came out, she and Andrea at Artie Mays just did a collaboration together called Nature's Remedies, which is a fantastic, huge, fantastic kit. These are not that kit all the way. This one has some of the pages in it from that kit, but these are mostly the notebook kits that she has. So I have used the notebook kits, which I've had printed out for a while now, and then she came out with her Assemblage slides kit just recently, and I loved it and printed it right away and started playing with that, and that kind of spurred this project on. But then I used her older exhibit Botanical Specimen slides kit in here as well as her random Sciency labels. That is probably one of the best kit names ever, Sciency labels, and her random number labels and some of her random word labels. And then I also used to back several of the pages in here, I used her archive papers, it's called, which is also a great kit. They are fantastic for backing, you know how a lot of kits will have the busy side that has a bunch of pictures and stuff and you can't really write on that side? Well, on the flip side, if you don't just want a bright white sheet of paper, if you're not printing on tea stain or something, the archive papers work great to go on the back sides of those things. And there's a lot of different styles of papers, and I've used some of the more the grid styled ones in here, so you'll see that too. So yeah, we're gonna go through this one first, and I think those are the main kits that I've used. I've used some of her mushrooms, fussy cuts and stuff. You'll see, I've used a ton of her stuff. I have a whole bunch of Tracy stuff that I just use. Oh, here, before I do this, let me show you around the outside of it. Look at me just talking and chatting and forgetting myself here. I have no idea. I have a slight idea. Okay, so it's got a curved spine. So it's about 6 inches by 8. It has a 3-inch spine, but it's a curved spine, so it ends up being about 2.5 inches. It's a banded, so it's got bands on the spine here. And it's hardcover. This is just chipboard I cut out on this label thing. What is this thing called? Plate. On my Scan and Cut out of chipboard, and then I painted it with some metallic copper paint, and it says field notes. That's from Nick the Booksmith, and then as are the numbers on the tabs here, those are from a Nick the Booksmith printable. And it's just covered in this. This is my double coffee stained muslin that I do, and I use cinnamon and some other stuff in there. That's how you get these little fleckies, and it gets all wrinkly like this because I coffee stain it once. I know I've explained this before, but I'll just say it again because it's kind of fun to do. If you coffee stain your muslin once and then just hang it on the line to dry or something and let it dry, and then make your water a little grungier and put some cinnamon and other stuff in there and really scrunch the muslin up, and then dip it in the coffee stain again, then it gets a lot more of this definition of different layers of coffee staining in there, and the cinnamon kind of gets stuck in some of the spots, and if you scrunch it and really scrunch it in there and then let it dry scrunched up, you get a really cool texture. And I don't iron it because I want that texture in there, so you can kind of see it's hard to pick it up on camera, but you can kind of see how there's veins of different coloring in there and stuff. Anyway, It's a fun technique. I recommend it. So that is the outside of this one. And I have no idea how many pages are in here. I'm going to say somewhere north of 100. This is just Sari Silk. It is not attached. And because you wouldn't need it, because you guys, surprise, surprise, I did not make this alligator mouth. It just, look, it just sits normal on its own. I know, you're surprised, right? Me too. I was kind of surprised. But I made a big enough spine and I didn't overstuff it, so there we go. Apparently that's all you got to do to not make it alligator mouthy. So as you can see, there is all kinds of tabuliciousness. It is 3 actual signatures, but then there are 2 go-between signatures. Excuse me guys, my allergies, they are a mess right now. So sometimes I have to itch my nose and I might sneeze a few times. So pardon me now, I'm asking for your pardon now. There are 2 go-between signatures, which we will get to as well. Now, let me make sure I'm in frame. Yep. All right. So the inside cover is just some patterned paper. These lovely fern images. I have used a sheet of labels from the Graphics Fairy. So that's where these came from. And this is just a layered notebook here. Kind of supposed to look like, you know, you could draw your little specimens there or whatever. So that's a layered notebook on the front of that signature. Now, I will try to point out a few things like from which kits they came from. So for example, like I said in this one, the only thing I've used from Nature's Remedy are some of the pages. I haven't used any of the like ephemera or anything. These are from a vintage nature book, and there's some vintage flower book in there as well. These are some little coin envelopes that I made, little specimens. I've also used some Tim Holtz ephemera from his die cuts field, I think it's called Field Notes or Field Guide or something. And these come from the notebooks. And these are from Exhibit, I believe, the Exhibit slides. And then this is some of that Nature's Remedy. Nature's Remedy kit is great, and there's a lot of people doing projects with it right now. And I have it all printed out just right over there, and that'll be a project coming up soon too, because I can't wait to put it together. It's a gorgeous kit. Did I already say that? I'm saying it again. I have some of Tracy's mushrooms in here, but I also have some from the Tim Holtz Field Notes kit, and then a bunch of her random-y labels, random number labels, random Sciency labels. Oh, and this is Poppiness, Susan Taylor Brown. This is one of her amazing eco die kits. She's got amazing eco die kits. Susan, they're beautiful. And so this is Poppiness is her shop, and I'll link that below too. But I'll have all of Tracy's kits and labels and all that stuff all linked below. These are just some paper, I was going to say flowers, leaves. Tim Holtz. And then I just made some of that aged tape, and that's kind of holding things in. The thought behind this, that's an old school Tracy tag. The thought behind this is it's just kind of like, this is a naturalist, somebody who's, you know, interested in cataloging all their finds and their research and stuff over the years. That's what this is. This is from the Notebooks kit, as is that. And there are 2, I'm pretty sure there are 2 separate notebooks kits. I have them saved together in my computer, but I think one of them is more of a botanical and one of them is more oh my gosh, entomological. Nope, that's not right. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna stop. These are from the Exhibit slides thing, I'm pretty sure. Specimens. And then this is some of that archive paper. Like I said, look at how great that goes just behind here. It fits perfectly with this kit. Those are great that's a great kit. It fits. I use it to line things all the time. This is from the Exhibit slides. This is one of the specimens, but I've printed some of them out and just have them taped in here in different places. This is a Mrs. Coggs from one of her like healing herbal teas or something. And then this is some of that vintage flower book. This is, I forgot where I ordered this from. I ordered it from an Etsy shop, and it's grid paper. It's like old grid paper that's been copy stained, and it has the most amazing texture. I wish you guys could feel it. It's awesome. And it works so well in this book. This is from the notebook as well, so that's from like the Botanical one. Then there's a big flip here. Let's go over here. This is more of that archive paper. Perfection. Then I have a big pocket here, and I left a couple of these flips have big pockets that I just left blank. Not blank, empty. That's the word. These are from Sciency labels and random numbers. I left them empty so you could put your own stuff in there, but also because I just wanted to stop myself from making alligator mouth. Beautiful tags. Then that's some Tim Holtz, and this is Vintage Flower Book. And I tried to include flower pages that were like things that you could actually like use to eat or to use medicinally. Then these, I made some of these labels, these number labels that are supposed to look like enamel. I made mine with glossy accents, and those are free printables. Now Tracy has a kit and Andrea at Artie Mae's has a kit. If you don't know about those, you should go check out their Facebook groups. And these are free there, and they've both done tutorials on how to make them. They're so fantastic. You'll see I used a bunch of them in a minute here. These are my field notes and field records. I usually have a bunch of those on hand, and they work perfectly with this kind of journal, so I stuck them in there. And I've done some sewing in these pockets. And then I've just kind of done, you know, making it look like there's specimens and little keepsakes and things stuck in along the way. That's another graphics fairy. Here's some of Tracy's fussy cut mushrooms. Some of them are not from the fussy cut mushrooms. Some of them are from her mushrooms ephemera kits. And then I cut them out of those pages too. This is more of the archive. Then this, I believe this comes from the exhibit kit. There are a couple of envelopes, and they just have some journal cards in there. And then I've just put some extra labels on those. Oh my gosh, come on fingers. Work with me today. Then this is from the notebook kit. Make sure I'm back in frame here. Notebooks, but this is the entomological. Did I just say it the right way? Entomology, entomological. I did! And those are from there as well. It's a little bug. Ew, bugs, but I have to force myself to include the bugs. This is one of her notes. There is a sheet of science labels that comes with the, now let me double check my notes here. The exhibit botanical specimens. Yes, so the exhibit botanical specimens slide kit thing come with a bunch of notes or like labels, but then there also is a separate set that she has more recently that she came out with that are labels, Sciency labels. So I don't know which ones came from where. This is another blank pocket here. I tried to leave, like I said, I tried to leave some things a little bit empty so you'd have places to tuck stuff and so it wouldn't get overwhelmingly huge. Beautiful healing plants kit. And then at the back of this signature, there is a pocket with a giant tag that slides in there. And then some of her labels. And then here is the first go-between. So this is kind of, my go-betweens here are kind of like slides. So it's like a bunch of specimens. So in this first one, I've used the exhibit specimens slides, and I, over the, you see how it's shiny? I just did some embossing, clear embossing over that to try and make it look like, you know, it was under glass or something. And then put some tape on there. And this, you guys, this kit, look at how yummy these are. And you could journal, you could put notes or something on the back of there. And they slide into this little holder here. So this is a holder, and it's got three different slides on there. And then they have these numbers, the enamel numbers, faux enamel. Then in the middle, we've got a bunch of butterflies, and most of these are Tracy's fussy cut butterflies. This is a Tim Holtz one. And then a whole bunch of her labels, and these are, I don't even remember what printable that is. It's not a Tracy printable. It's, I don't know, but I always have chunks of that around too. So this is like measurements, you know. So these are some butterfly specimens. And then on the other side, we've got some more botanical specimens with that same exhibit slides kit. So they are so yummy. They just look so cool. She did a great job designing those. Which now I'm trying to load it with my left hand, and my left hand is not very helpful. So that's the go-between. Now we start the middle signature, and it has another one of those flip-up notebooks here. And just some more random Sciency collection stuff. And there are a couple of those envelopes here, coin envelopes. I'm not gonna take them off and open them because it's the same as the other one that I showed you. And in this pocket, we've got a mushroom and some labels down here, then one of my field notes cards, and some of these blank little figure cards from, I believe those are from the notebooks. These are from the notebook. I just love this one because you could totally write around it. Sorry guys, my allergies are out of control. But I love how she just made it look like all these things are taped in there, and it's perfect. So that's kind of what I tried to copy through the rest of the book as a whole, was tried to elicit that same feeling. This is more of that Nature's Remedy paper. It's just so beautiful. So is this. This is more of Susan's Eco Die. And the archive papers, like I said, aren't they just, they're grungy and perfect. Here's more of it. And look how well it goes with the notebook kit. I mean, they're MFEO, made for each other. Here's more of that notebook. This is the Botanical one. In this pocket, we have some vintage flower stuff and another one of those little exhibit specimen cards. Here's another one of the tags. I just love them. She even put little pins. There's little pins in the labels. She did a great job designing these kits. This is belly band that I just glued along the side here and put one of the labels. There's another bug. Ew, bugs. But mushrooms, yay, mushrooms. Then clipped in here is this whole removable piece that you could write on the back of. And my lovely friend Emily from Ephemer's Treasures sent me some amazing slides, which, let's see, are you gonna be able to see them? Clear, lighter background? I don't know, can you see? Anyway, they're gorgeous. Real slides, and they have like nature things on them, some flowers and stuff. So I zhuzhed them up and put some labels on there and put a little date stamps on them and stuff. And now you've got a little slide holder with those slides in there, and they're gorgeous. And then I did do a couple of these exhibit slide things with vellum underneath or in between them, but it was a little more fussy than I wanted it to be when I was trying to back them. So I only did a couple of them this way. And then I was like, nope, I'm over that. So this whole thing just clips back in. A couple more of those cards. Here is another big flip out. So this flips out this way. And there's a pocket back here with some ephemera. And then a big pocket here that again is left empty. You can tuck your own things in. Some random label-y stuff down there. And then when you flip it back, this flips open this way. And this is a belly band. And stuck in there are some of those vintage flower and tree papers. Oh my goodness. Which of course are not gonna behave for me to get back in there. And then in here is another one of the Mrs. Cog herbal tea things. So that's an envelope that flips out. You could tuck extra stuff in there too. More of the notebook here. And then that's the end of the second signature with these flip outs, like so. And then this is a vintage like gardening science book that I have. So there's some little bits and pieces of that kind of throughout in here too. But these are just meant to look like, again, more measuring our specimens and more of those, you know, fake enamel numbers here. So then the next go-between signature has slides from her newer Assemblage slides kit. And for this one, I printed out the page that has, and I'll show you here, the page that has the little specimens for inside the slides. I printed a couple of them on vellum, and so that I could put them, you know, vellum, so it's kind of see-through like a slide would be. And then I put some of the enamel numbers up on these little tabs and a bunch of labels on there and put them in their little pockets. And I put the corresponding numbers, so 37, 37, right? Oh, except this one says 65 and 175. Apparently I was just not on it that day. But there we go, another vellum one in their little pockets. And then behind that, in this giant pocket, is just a big tag that you could journal on as well. Then in the center of the go-between is a bunch of layered pockets, and I've just stuck in there some of my field notes and my field records, and then some of Tracy's exhibit botanical like slide or botanical information things. And then I put a bunch of her labels on here. And on the back there are more slides right here. Oh, I got these numbers right though. But more of those. This is a great fun kit. So on these I put 2. On the other ones, let's see if I can show you. On this one, she has like a frame printed, so you only can really go through the middle of that one. But on some of them, there is no frame or anything, so I punched 2 holes because there's no specification about where you have to punch the hole. So I put 2 specimens on each slide, same as this one. So there's 2 specimens on that one, and then another big tag back there. So super fun. And then this is the last signature, and there are a couple of big index cards that I've layered up with labels and stamping and stuff, and then some of these blank tags that I put some tape on, and these are from the notebooks kits. You get some that have flowers and insects on them already, and then you get a set of like blank ones, which are great for tucking in these little spots to journal on or put pictures on or whatever. And this comes from, those both come from the notebooks kits. That's that archive papers. Whoops. More eco dye and little samples and snippets. This is the notebook. Another one of those cards. This is another flip here. So again, this is left empty. And then this flips out here. This is a tuck spot with a couple more of those vintage flower cards. And then there's just a couple little samples and another one of Mrs. Cog's cards in there. This is one of Tracy's. That again, I don't think this is a fussy cut. Like I said, she's got some really great mushroom ephemera cards as well, and I will fussy cut out of those as well. So that's, I think, where that came from. This is the notebook. Another little envelope that's clipped on top. Some more specimens and some paper leaves. These are both pieces of Tim Holtz ephemera. in this little pocket down here with some mushrooms and labels. And this is Nature's Remedy. There's a little Tracy tag up there. This is tucked behind this envelope flap that's sewn on, because here it flips out and there is just a journaling card in there. And another field record. And these are the ones, so I remember I showed you the ones that were blank. Well, these are the ones that come with either like bugs and insects or botanicals. More little samples. Here's another one of the slides that I did that was the fussy cutting with the vellum. Like I said, I only did a couple and then I was over it. I just wasn't having it that day, I guess. I wasn't feeling it. So there's plenty of room for writing. As much as I was embellishing and stuff, there's a lot of fun places to write in this one as well. Some more little samples of some flowers and stuff taped in, and some labels. This is from the notebook. And then on the very back page here, there is another one of those big envelopes that I sewed and made a big card for. And this is just some really cool coffee stained paper. There's my maker's mark and more of that cool paper, and that is the back of the book. So there's that one. Did you guys keep track of how many pages are in there? Were you counting? Because I certainly was not. I will though, and it will be in the listing. These will be listed on in my shop as soon as the video goes live. Okay, now let's take a look at this one. So this is the companion one, and it's the same kits, it's the same stuff, only just made into a skinnier, smaller. If you don't want the whole big version, you can have this version for yourself. It is a cover made with faux leather, like a faux, yeah, I said faux leather, and then I said like a faux leather, in case you didn't hear me the first time. Oh my gosh. And then this, I made, I don't know if I made this one specifically, but in a design team project once upon a time a while ago, I made Tracy's discs. So they're little discs like this. I made them into beads. And so I showed you how to make them into beads and some of her mini ephemera. And then I did the same thing with some of her tea cards. I shrunk them down and made them into little charms. And I put them on this hook with some wooden beads and stuff and turned it into a tassel. And you guys, listen. Oh, it makes a great little clinkly sound. Yeah, it's great. So that's attached through an eyelet with a bulb pin here. I tried putting this, my initial thought was to put this through, but it stuck out kind of funny. So then I just put a Tim Holtz, I put a bulb pin and a little Tim Holtz label, and then I just clipped this on there as well. And it flips nicely out of the way when you're gonna write anyway. And then again, this closure is not attached. It is just some of that coffee stained muslin. And let's get into this. It's a single signature. It's a semi-soft cover. It's a flexible cover. Soft cover in my book is like soft, like squishy soft. And this has a little bit of a heft to it. So the front is just literally a collage of like the leftover bits and pieces that I had at the end of doing all of these books, which turned out kind of fun. It's like a little Sciency field notes, you know, little collage. These pages all come from the notebook. There's none of the Nature's Remedy in here. These are all of the notebooks, both the entomological, look at how I say that now, and the botanical ones. And then the same kind of stuff, the archive papers in here. These are from that vintage planting, like science planting book that I have. And those are from the notebook kit. fussy cut butterflies. These field notes, these are mine again, but I printed them onto just regular copy paper by accident. So I sewed back them and sewed around them. Love that page. Dragonflies, now it makes me think of you, Dee Dee. Hi, Dee Dee. Little bits from the book. Fussy cut butterflies. It's another one of those envelopes, and it's just got a tag in it, so I'm not gonna open that up. I have put a couple of the slides in here, just attached in a couple of places. This has field notes and field record. So this is a good writing journal. It has some stuff in it. Oh look, 175. I bet this is what go. Mental note, I'm gonna switch those. I'm gonna take this out. Silly, silly Nikki. I bet I switched them somehow. See these archive papers? They're perfect for this, backing that. This is another one of the few vellum ones that I made. The notebook. Another envelope there with a journal card in it. Some mushrooms, specimens. More of her field Sciency labels. A bunch of little information and another pocket. Another journaling card. Some more of her fussy cut butterflies. This is another pocket here with a tag and another little journaling card. I love this one. It's got like a little map, you know, drawing of where these things were found. This is just, these are such a fun kit. The notebook kits are fun. And then on the back page, I just have another pocket with another envelope, specimen envelope here, and a field record. And that is that one. So like I said, this one I think has, oh geez, it's like 72 pages I think, or something like that. But yeah, so these will both be listed in my shop, like I said, at the time that this video goes live. And I will say that we are, you know, I just was telling you at the top of this video how I took a little break, but we are going up north to visit family for kind of a long extended weekend. So if you do purchase one of these in the next day or two, just know that it won't get mailed out until probably like Monday or Tuesday. And it is currently Wednesday today. So anyway, thank you guys for coming and hanging out and watching my flip through today. I have missed chatting with you. I hope to, once I come back next week, I hope to get back on the ball and maybe have another live and get back in touch with you guys, because I feel like even though I was just only gone for like a couple weeks, it felt like an eternity. So since I put out a video, I was like fussing with my camera setting. This is the second time I had to do this because I just was having such a struggle. So anyway, thanks for all your thoughts and prayers. Thank you guys for all of the messages that I've received from fantastic viewers saying, are you okay? Is everything okay? Yes, everything is fine. I am doing much better. And you know, the world is a crazy place for most of us right now. It is not exclusively crazy for me. So I hope all of you are doing well as well. I hope all of you are, you know, surviving this continued craziness as things start to open back up. That doesn't mean that things are not still crazy. And as we've had, you know, the stuff here in Minneapolis that turned into a global, you know, event as well. it's just been, I don't know, surreal is probably the best word for it, right? It has just been a strange few months. So anyway, this is just some nice calmness in the midst of that. You guys are some nice calmness in the midst of that. Crafting is therapeutic and lovely, and I look forward to doing a bunch more. So I hope you're all well. And until I see you guys all next time, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, middle of the night, whatever time it is on whatever side of this fantastic globe of ours that you live on. And until I see you next time, take care, stay safe, stay healthy, stay well, and God bless. Bye, guys.